Southwest Africa People's Organization, officially known as SWAPO Party of Namibia, is a political party and former national liberation movement in Namibia. It has been the governing party in Namibia since achieving independence in 1990. In the general election held in November 2014, the party won 86.73% of the popular vote and 77 out of 96 seats, though the organization rejected the term Southwest Africa and insisted on replacing it with Namibia. The organization's own name, derived from the territory's old name, was too deeply rooted by independence to be changed. However, the original full name is no longer used, only the acronym remains. As of 2015, Hage Geingob has been the acting president of SWAPO. History. After World War I, the League of Nations gave Southwest Africa, formerly a German colony, to the United Kingdom as a mandate under the administration of South Africa. When the National Party won the 1948 election in South Africa and subsequently introduced apartheid legislation, these laws were applied as well to Southwest Africa. It was considered the de facto fifth province of South Africa. SWAPO was founded on the 19th of April 1960 by Andimba Toivo Yatoivo and Sam Nujoma as the successor of the Ovamboland People's Congress, an organization established in 1957 and renamed the Ovamboland People's Organization in 1959. Leaders renamed the party to show that it represented all Namibians. But the organization had its base among the Ovambo people of northern Namibia, who constituted nearly half the total population. During 1962, SWAPO had emerged as the dominant nationalist organization for the Namibian people. It co-opted other groups such as the Southwest Africa National Union, and later in 1976 the Namibia African People's Democratic Organization. SWAPO used guerrilla tactics to fight the South African Defence Force. On the 26th of August 1966, the first major clash of the conflict took place when a unit of the South African Police, supported by the South African Air Force, exchanged fire with SWAPO forces. This date is generally regarded as the start of what became known in South Africa as the Border War. In 1972, the United Nations General Assembly recognized SWAPO as the sole legitimate representative of Namibia's people. The Norwegian government began giving aid directly to SWAPO in 1974. The country of Angola gained its independence on the 11th of November 1975 following its war for independence. The leftist Popular Movement for the Liberation of Angola, supported by Cuba and the Soviet Union, came to power. In March 1976, the MPLA offered SWAPO bases in Angola for launching attacks against the South African military. Independence. When Namibia gained its independence in 1990, SWAPO became the dominant political party. Its head Sam Nujoma was elected as Namibia's first president. Nujoma had the constitution changed so he could run for a third term in 1999, as it had limits of 2 terms for the presidency. The party continues to be dominated in number and influence by Ovambo people. In 2004, the SWAPO presidential candidate was Hifikepunye Pohamba, described as Nujoma's hand-picked successor. In 2014, the SWAPO presidential candidate was Hage Geingob, who was the president of Namibia and vice president of SWAPO. Structure. The party president is the top position of SWAPO. In 2012, this was held by Namibia's former president Pohamba. The vice president is Namibia's current president Hage Geingob, who was elected to that position in 2007 and reconfirmed at the SWAPO Congress in December 2012. The third highest position in SWAPO is the Secretary-General, a position held in December 2012 by Nangolo Mabumba. Number 4 is the Deputy Secretary-General, Omaheke Governor Laura MacLeod Kajirua. Like many socialist parties, SWAPO is governed by a Politburo and a Central Committee. The party leadership is advised by a Youth League, a Women's Council, and an Elder Council. Politburo. The Politburo of SWAPO is a body that currently consists of the party president Hifikepunye Pohamba and Vice President Hage-Geingob, Secretary-General Nangolo Mabumba and his deputy, Laura MacLeod Kajirua. 2 members appointed by the party president, Helmut Angela and Sarah Kugongalwa Amadila. 18 members elected by the SWAPO's Central Committee. Election Results. Central Committee. SWAPO's Central Committee consists of President, Vice President, Secretary-General, and Deputy Secretary-General, the SWAPO coordinator of every region of Namibia. People elected at the Party Congress. Founding President Sam Nujoma and SWAPO founder and Imbertoivo Yatoivo as permanent members, and 10 president-appointed members. The current members are Hifikepunye Pohamba, Hage-Geingob, Nangolo Mabumba, Laura MacLeod Kajirua. Elected members. List of presidents of SWAPO. Sam Nujoma 1960 to 2007. Hifikepunye Pohamba 2007 to 2015. Hage-Geingob 2015 present. Memberships. SWAPO is a full member of the Socialist International. It was a member of the non-aligned movement before the independence of Namibia. Namibia.It. Namibia.It is the mouthpiece of the SWAPO. Its editor is Asa Ntinda. Alleged human rights abuses. Various groups have claimed that SWAPO committed serious human rights abuses against suspected spies during the independence struggle. Since the early 21st century, they have pressed the government more strongly on this issue. Breaking the Wall of Silence is one of the groups founded by people who were detained by SWAPO during the war and abused during interrogations. In 2004, BWS alleged that, in exile, hundreds of SWAPO dependents and members were detained, tortured and killed without trial. SWAPO denies serious infractions and claims anything that did happen was in the name of liberation. Because of a series of successful South African raids, the SWAPO leadership believed that spies existed in the movement. Hundreds of SWAPO cadres were imprisoned, tortured and interrogated. In 2005, the PACE Center conducted an extensive study on the lives of Namibian ex-fighters and the families 15 years after independence. The published e-book investigates the post-independence lives of those who fought on both sides of the Namibian War of Independence. Data from this research indicate that ex-fighters still exhibit symptoms of long-term post-traumatic stress disorder. The findings indicate there is a correlation between the life circumstances of ex-fighters and the lack of resilience to traumatic war experiences. Resiliency has been linked to a number of protective factors, such as the socio-economic situation of the survivors, the socio-political environment, the social support networks, and their cognitive processes. The study says that, in the case of Namibian ex-fighters, long-term psychological distress is different from a simple PTSD diagnosis. The survivors have almost invariably gone for nearly 2 decades without seeking treatment, adding to the burdens. During this time, the ex-fighters have been exposed to additional social and psychological stress through life events. events. For a person without PTSD, such stressor may have fleeting effects, but for a sufferer of long-term psychological distress, each life incident could reduce the survivor's resilience to trauma, as well as triggering flashbacks to events during the war.